Please rise. This time I'd like to call on Commissioner Mahler to give the invocation.
Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today thanking you for the many blessings that you bestow on us day in and day out. There are so many blessings around us, they're hard to count. And I know a lot of times we take things for granted, but we shouldn't. Lord, we just ask a special blessing on our fellow Texans who suffered through that terrible tragedy yesterday at the church. We'd ask that you give them special love and care and help guide them through these very, very dark hours. Lord, we'd ask that you would protect our first responders, the people that see after our welfare each and every day, and certainly be with our military personnel as they serve locally and abroad, and touch them and their families. We know that's a terrible chore, not just for the individuals themselves, but the many families who support them day and night. Lord, we'd ask that you bless this court, help us to make wise decisions for the citizens of Wichita County. These things we ask in the name of your precious Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner. Y'all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Take your seats, please. I've had some requests on the consent agenda items. One, Commissioner Harvey, you said you wanted to remove item 12. Mm-hmm. Okay. On item 2, in the closing part of that last sentence, it says paid from 404-8401.5104. That should just be, say, from 404 limited tax note. Okay, and also down to item number 10, change the last part of that, the ending sentence, strike the words from Fund 238 to appropriate budget lines as determined by the county auditor to software implementation fund to be software implementation to be to the appropriate line. There we go. To the appropriate line as determined by the county auditor. And Nancy, the other one was in general business, I think, that we received.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, number 4. Okay. I would ask the court, unless they have other revisions.
I do, Judge. I have some just clarifications and
all right, sir.
And see one potential pull down, but the item number 3.
Yes, sir.
Is that is strictly a reimbursement on our part. If we did expend $250 on that purchase, it would come home, every bit of it, correct?
Yes, sir. There is one fee that we may get on this third property that we've had come up that I'm not sure it's $500 whether it's going to qualify or not. That's on it. But all of those that we're going to pay out in this, guaranteed title will hold. FEMA will pay us back our money on that. The rest of the, let's say 100% of some of those fees will be withheld from the purchase price at closing. So.
And the, I noticed on the general business, there's only the
Wrangler's Retreat.
Wrangler's Retreat property.
It's the only one ready. The other people have been a little slower to
get their stuff together.
Yes, sir.
And then on item 4, Judge, the owner's representative, is that just for the law enforcement center? Is that just to field those questions? It doesn't replace construction manager, right?
No. But when they have somebody to say, okay, we need to, do this.
Right.
And Commissioner Beecham will be the primary person. They need one point of contact. I've agreed to be the alternate. Someone else. Yeah.
I was thinking it may be in lieu of, so.
No, sir. He's pretty talented, but I don't know whether he's going to take that on.
Don't put that on.
Yeah.
And item 8, the increase in the bond is an additional 250,000?
No, it's a total of 250,000, but it was a change in the law to up that because.
Up to
Not
250,000?
up to, it must be 250,000.
Because it looks like that we're increasing it, the increase could be as much as 250,000.
Yeah, it will be. It's the way you read that motion to approve the increase of up to 250,000.
Okay.
So it has to be by law, it has to be 250,000.
Okay. And then on item 13, this purchase of a drone, I guess that would be used how?
The sheriff or chief will have to answer that.
Is that the sheriff's department or emergency management?
Sheriff's department.
The other day, whenever the gentleman walked away from the nursing facility out on Loop 11, they had a drone out there looking in those woods for that man, you know, where
Yeah, that
they
was
be.
the fire department had theirs and the police department had theirs.
Well, I would think you'd use it in a lot of, I just thought it was for emergency management. That's what I thought it was.
It'd be for hunts, manhunts, lost people. There's a lot of variable things being used with it. It will not be utilized on deer locating, hog locating, and things of that nature.
You gotta make sure it works.
Well, like in flood areas, you could kind of go up and go
Survey
in.
damages.
Yeah.
Well, especially wildfires, that's one
Wildfire
of
season, you know, also wintertime. a lot of people think
just
fires-
don't crash land. That's
No,
not,
there's 4 individuals from the office that's been, some have gone, I think, to the drone training school.
right, they're going to the licensing school tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday.
What is it?
There's a licensing school to get your commercial license, and there was one person on a waiting list, so I dropped off of it, and
I remember when I got there, I said it's been the last couple of weeks, since I've been gone.
yes, sir.
We explored into our training business to send to the people.
Yeah.
And it's a grant.
Yeah.
It's not tax, it's not our money.
One of the other things with this drone is we have a local businessman who every year, now he's been buying equipment for law enforcement and fire department. And one of the things we're putting in for is for the actual FLIR camera system to go on that drone. About $9,000. They paid us about $12,000 last year for some, I think they bought some tasers for us last year.
The 100 Club.
No, it wasn't 100, it was Dwayne Bell.
Oh, Dwayne.
No, what's this?
Good.
Giving back to the community.
Good.
Yeah.
Do something worth.
I'm surprised his brother-in-law hadn't asked to be one of the honorary pilots on that, David, but,
I've flown with him before, and it's experience.
yeah.
Well, I have an issue with item number 11. I don't know that we should just give you 6 hours of credit unless you can tell us that you learned something. What'd you learn?
Well,
He learned how to set an illegal outdoor
learn?
yeah, I
fire.
learned something. I learned that it's probably one of the tougher, and we did have Becca, our new attorney from the DA's office in the Civil Division, attended it, and it is very difficult to prosecute, and that class kind of taught you the ways of how to deal with that, and part of it to try to help out on a situation where someone from law enforcement comes up, because the penalties range from a Class A or B misdemeanor up to a state jail felony.
Cool.
And, you're a little reluctant to issue somebody something's going to put them in the felony bracket of a $10,000 to $100,000 fine. The other is $1,000 to $10,000 fine, which is pretty significant, but
Depending on the property damage or something like that?
well, it depends on the situations that happen. You should have been there, give you more information, but I brought the book if you want to read it.
All right, I guess I'll vote for it. It sounds like you might have learned something.
I got the certificates that I
Okay.
did. Okay.
Judge, I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Muller, second by Commissioner Watts to approve the consent agenda as amended. Any other comments or questions on it? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Item number 1 on general business is review and approve the regular bills for payment.
Judge, after reviewing the bills on Friday, I would make a motion that we approve them for payment.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Beecham, second by Commissioner Harvey to approve the regular bills for payment. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 2 is open and take action on the offers for the sale of Precinct 3 motor grader.
We only have one bid, Judge, and Nancy, I guess you've checked, no others. From Star Tractor Limited in Fort Worth.
Okay. Their bid is $134,000. The good is offered for 30 days. Do you all wish to go ahead and take? Did you have a buyback bid on that also?
We do have one, and should we take that under advisement?
Yes,
and
sir.
Act on it next week?
Yes, sir.
Probably be the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Item 3 is discuss and review jail maintenance projects and work orders. Captain Patterson.
We currently don't have any open work orders.
This is so good, it's getting boring to hear that, but it's so
Don't
good.
jinx it.
Yeah, yes, sir,
They addressed 31 issues last week.
Yeah, 31. It's not bad. Thank you very much. Okay, item 4 is discuss and take action to approve a quote from Wichita Restaurant for a dish table and pot sinks and one clean dish table in the amount of $4,143.50. Payment will be made from, the item is stating $560 supplies and operation budget, but it needs to be transferred to $561 as in line signed by the county auditor.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Harvey, second by Commissioner Waller to accept the amended item on the agenda. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 5 is discuss, consider, or take action to approve the purchase of the following award items that will be presented to Ellisville Road and Bridge Section employees in precincts 1, 2, 3, and 4 at the November 16, 2017 Safety Awards breakfast. Total cost of the awards up to $1,140 to be paid by transfer from appropriate funds to line items determined by the county auditor. Arctic Zone zipperless cooler, 26 at the cost of up to $25 each for a total of $650, and 7 Devon & Jones jackets model D8-850 navy and khaki at a cost of up to $70 each for a total of $490, includes monogramming.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Harvey, a second by Commissioner Beecham to approve the item. Any comments or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Discuss, consider, and take action to authorize the county auditor and treasurer to issue a check in the amount of $127,310.12 payable with a guaranteed title with memo for sale of buyout property at 1613 Wranglers Retreat, Wichita Falls, by Jack and Janice Martin, to be paid from FEMA Fund 260 as determined by the county auditor.
Question.
Yes, sir.
I know that we get this money back, but who's on the hook for getting this billed to FEMA so that we do?
Jeff Ward.
Jeff does that?
Yes, sir.
Then I ain't worried about it.
It'll be done at closing, won't it, Judge? Isn't that?
Yeah, but all of that'll be paid, but we'll go in and submit everything to FEMA to get our 75% back.
Yeah.
But it's all marched right down the line. We're
Well,
really good on it.
Jeff's done so many of them, and he's done them perfect, so
Yeah.
if he's the guy,
Yeah.
we ought to be real comfortable with that.
No, and I am, and,
This'll, what's this been, a 2-year deal?
yes, sir.
I make a motion, we approve and move forward.
Second. Just to keep you all posted in that same vein, there's a commercial piece of property at Kemp and Maplewood that, under the current ownership, has flooded 7 times. And I tried to get this introduced into this program before. Then they decided they didn't want to sell it out. Well, they just got an increase this year in their flood insurance increase of $27,000.
Wow.
And it's a small business to.
Isn't it a car wash?
No,
No, it's an office.
It's an
Office
office building. It's one that looks like a house, a commercial-looking house, kind of. It's right there.
I think it's work, it's a
Express employment.
express employment.
Yeah, it's
That's what it
express
is,
employment, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's, what's amazing to me, FEMA's paid out over $400,000 in claims on that building. And it looks like we've got it through on a 100% buyout program from the Texas Water Development Board. We have to submit the stuff by Thursday, and I asked Mr. Ward to go ahead and get that together and meet that. I have talked to Kathy Hopkins down at Texas Water Development Board. She feels pretty good about it. It's, eventually it will be a level vacant lot there.
Well, it's in the heart of our city.
Yeah.
Surely there's something we could do to mitigate the flooding in that area.
They're working on that, they're doing it. It's not anytime soon that's going to happen. They're doing all the process. City is working on that part of it. That's the approach they took to it.
There's a chance that the changes in that area have brought some of that about. I'm not an engineer and I'm not state, but they're just looking at it, those things happen
But
sometimes.
if we buy it and then they fix the drainage, are we allowed to sell it?
No,
No.
it will stay there forever.
The only problem I see with it is it's such a tremendous location.
Yeah.
It's a shame for it to be vacant, but
That's my point. It's
Yeah.
on the corner of Maplewood
Yeah,
and
right.
Kemp. And if we buy it, it's out of the game.
Okay, but that's the only solution
Yeah.
to it. Otherwise, these people are sit there stuck dealing with every couple of years. If you look at the history of it, every couple of years, it's going to have water in it until that drainage issue is fixed. And Russell Schreiber said, we're doing the planning, we're doing everything we will submit it. It's not going to happen for a while. When I say a while, I'm going to say probably 5 or more years. It's unfortunate that if all that changes, or somebody couldn't come back in and fill it, that, it couldn't be. But right now, that's what the rules are.
but if you fill it, Judge, you just push it off on the next property.
Well, yeah,
That's the
if you
problem.
look at the new building built behind them,
Yeah,
that's up 4 foot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but somebody else will be in the firing line, and it's a shame. I agree with Mr. Harvey to take that off the tax roll and to take it out
Better
of.
off to haul in dirt and elevate that, maybe
Well-
somehow
You can't do that.
elevate the property.
It'll push it off on
You
another.
you cannot build the berm around it that forces it in.
Talk about foundation.
No, raise it.
Raise the foundation. Tear the building down, raise the foundation.
Well, okay, do you want to buy it and do that?
No.
Okay, then leave well enough alone.
But somebody might. Somebody might.
No, it hasn't been so far.
Okay.
You're talking about that piece of property is more or less swung back around there behind Wendy's.
No, it's cross street, Tommy.
Yeah.
It's catty corner across street from Wendy's.
Yeah, it
The other
doesn't
side.
run
The other
right
corner.
directly into it, but
It's that office building, looks like a house. And it doesn't look that low, but it is. And it's, 7 times, I think, in the last
The
couple of years.
2015 flood, one of the ladies was standing there, the water, now she's not real tall, but she's 5 foot something, but it was up to her waist in their building.
It's flash flooding that gets them.
Yeah,
Sykes Lake backs up.
okay. All right, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Item number 7 is discuss, consider, take action, or authorize the county judge to sign acceptance proposals from Flint Inspection Services Incorporated for abatement project management services for the buyout properties at 1613 Wranglers Retreat in the amount of $2,500 and 4975 Merriam Lane in the amount of $1,200. These costs are to be covered from the sources other than Wichita County, which is part of the buyout procedure.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any questions or discussion on that item? Okay, all in favor of the motion by Commissioner Watts, Commissioner Beecham, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 8 is discuss, consider, take action to approve the temporary license from Indigent Healthcare Systems for an additional scanner for the Indigent Healthcare Department. Commissioner Beecham.
Yeah, it's going to be an additional $175 a month until we get all the back scanning done. We have approximately 600 files that we need to back scan. Doing it with a single scanner as we're trying to implement that program has proved to not be very effective. So in order to get it done most efficiently, we just ask for that additional license right now.
Okay. Is that a motion then?
Yes, that would be a
Second.
motion.
And where will that be paid from?
General contingencies. Be paid out of.
Okay, it'll be paid out of there until we need to transfer, paid from current budget until necessary for
Right.
transfer.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions, anyone in the audience on the item? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries 5-0. Item 9, discuss, consider, take action on construction renovations in various offices at the courthouse annex. Who, Commissioner Watts or Beecham?
Well,
Put that on
mine
there.
was that closed part that we talked about, but we could get Tommy's overview, kind of bring us up to speed on what we've walked through and talked about. Tommy, would you mind
No, I
to?
don't mind, Judge, Commissioner Beecham, Commissioner Watts came over, we had a real good meeting with Marvel Perkins and Donna from Butts Blueprint Center, and everybody took the dollar store tour. And I think Marvin Day, that after touring that entire building, that building does have its challenges, but I think right now, it's kind of one of these hurry up and wait deals, but Harper Perkins and Matt, and we're gonna go back and do some rough sketches. And I think our biggest challenge to some degree was Lee trying to do something with that, how do you come in off Scott, and also going to.
Microphone.
They're having trouble hearing you back there.
I've never had anybody have a hard time hearing me.
It's for the strings.
Off for the string. You might not sit down.
No, go ahead. String away.
Cross your legs, put your feet
Can I
up.
talk louder with you?
You sing something.
We did have a good meeting, and the biggest challenge we got, I think, to some degree, and y'all can dovetail off this, Mark and Jeff, Judge, is with that access off of Scott, and I think maybe the ideal, and maybe this is where Sheriff and Derek can both come in on this as well, but I think maybe to transition to a single point of ingress like we have here at the Wichita County Courthouse, and basically where the Scott Street Annex would, Scott Street entrance would be a fire exit only. I think this is kind of in the infancy stages. And then the main entrance, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, would be where we'd all come in through the door that's a little further south on Scott, which is a set of double doors anyway. It's the best entrance to begin with.
Yeah.
But that way, everybody who came in the annex would come past security in some standpoint. You'd have to pass the cubicle that the sheriff's office has there with security there. So basically right now, we're waiting on Matt and them to get back with maybe how we can transition that cubicle and work with that entrance. I think all of us were very amazed that building does have challenges, and the challenges, how those challenges come into play as far as where we can meet code and spend less dollars, spend our money wisely. But it was a very good meeting. We're kind of a wait and see mode now from Donna and Matt and them as far as how to minimize the impact of moving that hall back, like we talked about, Jeff and Mark, and then even going down towards the sheriff's cubicle, how that can be reconfigured where Mark has Engine Healthcare. But I mean, probably 2 hours, every bit of it better, but we're just kind of in a wait and see type deal right now, and we'll be off the races at that point.
Okay, so Scott Street would become the main entrance. What about all your handicap parking on 6th Street coming in those doors? Would that still remain an entrance?
The handicap parking is actually across the street in the parking lot. That's what meets the ADA requirements according to Harper Perkins. That's the actual design handicap parking lot for that building.
We do have some blue curb, Judge, on the 6th Street side,
Yes, sir.
but from an official standpoint, your designated handicap parking for that building is actually across the street, which we all know that's a horrible design, but that's just the way.
Are you going to close the entrance or not?
Yes.
Yes.
It'll be exit only
Exit
on
only.
the elevator entrance and on the 6th Street entrance.
Right.
All the entrance into the building will be between the new Constable Suite and Engine Health. So that everybody will funnel by the fishbowl.
Exactly.
And that way you can get a good eye on everybody that comes through the
So
building.
6th Street will be exit only too?
6th Street will be exit only.
Tommy-
Limited access to Tommy's area from the backside. Everybody will flow in through the front,
Right.
so.
We are going to have a closed session after this in reference to security of this particular property. Tom will be here for that as well.
Certainly can.
And there's-
Okay.
I want to say some things, but just not.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay.
Was that on the mic when I thanked him?
Sure.
Thank you, Sheriff.
On a
The
quasi-related
sheriff has
note,
left the building.
on a quasi-related note, the Constable Suite, they're putting in carpet tomorrow. They'll be moving in on Wednesday, so that's just
Moving
about to
Good,
wrap
good.
up.
You might check to see if Constable Brewer's packed up.
Yes, I've been working with them. In fact, we've got another project that kicked off this morning out at Sprague, and he texted me this morning wanting a gun safe for his new office. I said, go look behind the 50-yard line. He found a gun safe out there and some filing cabinets that they'll be moving from behind the 50-yard line at Sprague. So
That's for the constable's office.
that's for the constable's
It's
office.
half price then.
Free. Yeah. We got it from the world's biggest garage sale for free this morning.
Yeah, a lot of those filing cabinets and things that are out there, when the general hospital stopped, they called us, advised to come over, get whatever y'all make could ever use to throw it away.
Yeah.
And we brought back several loads of that stuff. Judge, I think you may remember that, and Mary may remember that. That's where a lot of that come from. And we've had a lot of offices be able to pick it and use it, so.
Well, the plan right now is for them to pack everything that they want and move it over there this week, and whatever's left next week, we'll come and haul off to Sprague for the auction out there, so.
You got a date for the auction, Mark?
No. We didn't quite know what we were up against until we got started this morning.
What is that? They say how big is big, and you went, oh my God.
Yeah, that's big.
Well, it's a lot larger elephant than
The auction may be in January or February.
One bite at a time, Mark, one bite at a time.
Didn't know it was going to have so much fat on it, did you?
No.
All right. Anything else on that? that item. I'm just going to say, I think there'll be some kickback on not having that entrance for handicapped people.
Well, Judge, could we delay the action on this item till after closed? Because there is the sheriff has some.
Okay, that's fine. We'll discuss the security issues, but I'm just saying from the customer standpoint, I think we're going to have to do some good work on selling that because of the long-time habitual handicapped access from that 6th Street side. All right, okay. Anything else on that item? Okay, we're down to public comments. Anyone in the audience have anything to bring up? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Bohannon.
Just a reminder that tomorrow is election day. Polls open at 7, close at 7. We are down, have the 10 where we're consolidated, and you can vote anywhere. Do not have to go to your precinct to vote. You can vote at any of the 10 locations. I wish there was some way we could block off some parking here for voters to come here, but
It can be done, but the compliance with it is,
we put signs up before and people still park.
right, yeah.
Well, they're voting.
Sure they are.
What was early voter turnout?
Not a whole lot, I don't know.
That was
They're still
not-
waiting on one. Wasn't very busy.
Well, it tickled me over the weekend. Chris said to me, okay, where do we go vote this time? I said, anywhere you want to.
She went to Kohl's, did she?
Huh?
Went to Kohl's, did she?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah. But at any rate, it's really, I almost thought looking at the website, we should have put in big letters with flash, you can vote at any of these, you know. Because I had someone ask me, I said, did you look it up? Yeah, it didn't tell me anything at all. I said, yes, it did. You could vote at any of those. And
I did send a reminder to the 2 news stations here. Actually, one of them is going to talk to me after work.
okay, very good.
You know, it's funny that we'll turn out and vote for a person. If we don't like a person, 4 years later, we'll vote somebody else in. But we will not turn out for our constitutional amendment votes. Once those are voted in, it's like pulling teeth to get them out. So they're really a very important vote. I mean, people don't even realize that, almost messed up, that something could be on the ballot that you're 100% against. And if you don't go down there and vote no, then you're going to live with it from now on. So if you don't like a candidate, well, in 4 years from now, don't vote for him. But if you don't vote for that, getting it changed is tremendous. So
Birdwell.
I don't understand the mentality why
No,
people
no,
don't turn out to go
no.
vote for the laws that they're going to live by. That to me was a whole lot more important. And they just don't, I don't know if they don't care or they just don't have time. Yes, ma'am.
I would just like to add to that, I think that a big part of the problem is that it's difficult to understand if you're just the average voter who votes for your issues for candidates. It's not that easy to just read through those constitutional amendments and understand which way you should vote. And I think it would be more helpful if our elected officials would publicly, take a stance on whatever, maybe not
Explain what it means.
but give the people a better explanation of what is actually going to happen if the,
Usually the newspaper does a pretty neutral thing, but I don't recall seeing that, Claire.
I didn't see it either.
They did one.
Saying what they were, but we didn't explain.
Okay, I was going to say, I didn't see, yeah. Bob, did you see an explanation or just a listing of them? That's all I ever.
Oh, they had a little bit of a.
But on the other hand, ma'am, a voter should be informed. A voter should want to be informed and go get informed.
But there needs to be some information there
Sure.
to
Yeah.
give the background on it.
Did anybody look at a league of one of
Yeah.
women's voting?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't because they didn't drop any off.
I didn't see any.
I got one emailed, yeah, it was,
It was informative, but the information isn't as easily accessible as we think, you know?
No.
And even if you just look it up online and do find it,
Yeah.
it's, for a lot of the average voters, it's just
complicated.
easy to understand. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
complicated, so it's not as easy as voting for a person that you like.
And a lot of times, those things are written to where you think you're voting one way and you're actually voting the other, if you're not careful. They're very, very confusing sometimes.
Prime example is the county assistance district.
Yeah.
We can't put on the ballot, hey, you're already paying for this, go ahead and vote for it. You can't do that. It just looks like it's a new tax, and people say, no. That's why it's been defeated.
Same issues with just regular after the session in Austin, these new laws that come out, there's so many laws that come out. Law enforcement wise, we don't know what some of them are for 6 or 8 months later before we get anything on them, unless we go to a legal update. I've been to some of the legal, I mean, I'll go to all of them, but they just jam it down, they just jam it on them. And then, you know, particularly the Senator Bland Act is one that my attention was when we focus on because it's going to affect the jail and everything that happens. When it comes down to actual other criminal laws or Class C misdemeanors, you know, texting and driving is the biggest law in the world. It's just distracted driving or whatever. You need a hamburger to be distracted having a wreck.
Sure.
It's not even eating a burrito. I've seen the same woman 2 times. So reading a book.
Reading a book?
Yeah.
Reading a book. I started stopping the first time. I thought, you know what? That lady is about 20 years older than me. She'll eat me out left and right because she does this all her life. Apparently, she's a professional because she was driving straighter than me. So I thought, why stop her? You know, when you get people out, you know, at some ages, you're not going to change their mind. But that's just the way Austin is, and with all this we're talking about now, unless you really read those details of what the law is. And nowadays, there's so much hooks in those laws that Austin and Washington, D.C.
You can go to the Texas Legislature's website. You can look up the bill, and they'll have some of the information about it. It's still not down to earth enough, but that's...
And you gotta go dig for it.
Yeah.
And we really ought to make it more available. Somehow we ought to think, like what she said, hey, just explain it to us.
Yeah.
We should do that, so I agree with her.
It's always
I've been calling
amazing.
the media, what about this law that's coming out, blah, blah, I haven't even heard of it. So I've got to say, let me go look it up first, so I can tell you the answer.
Well, then it's confusing because some of them go into effect September 1st, some of them go into effect January 1st, and you don't know exactly when the new law takes in. It's always been amazing to me after the last presidential election, everybody got so passionate over who's going to be president. And I was in a discussion with some people one night, and I said, who is your state representative? They don't know. I said, who is your state senator? They don't know. I said, those 2 people have more effect on your day-to-day life than who's in the White House.
Exactly right.
And we don't even know who they are. I mean, it's just a lot more direct involvement in your day-to-day life than what goes on in Austin, Texas. But anyway.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, Commissioner Beecham,
I had nothing, Judge.
Commissioner Harvey.
But when that Rotary Club hit a home run for the Boys and Girls Club and the Senior Citizen Center of Burkwood. Saturday night, they did a fundraiser, raised $18,000. The event was sold out. They had an artist out of Nashville come. His name was Jimmy Wayne.
Jimmy White.
And Commissioner Beecham had known about Jimmy before. I had not. He did sing songs that I had heard. I just didn't know he sang them. But he told a story. He sang a song. He told a story. He sang a song. I'll tell you what, it was that my wife was bawling. Or she was bawling, not anyway. But it was very emotional. Great evening in Burkwood. If you get a chance to go see Jimmy Wayne, I highly recommend him along with his guitar. And it's outstanding. So, thank you, Rotary Club. We appreciate everything you do for us. I promise you that.
Okay, Commissioner Mulder.
You know, to kind of reverberate what Lee has said, you know, you really begin to appreciate these service clubs when you become an elected official and you see how much they do in the community that if they were not working on those projects, would probably fall on the taxpayers to do. But all these service clubs are tremendous with all of them, with a lot of projects going on, and they're really a benefit to the community. And I think they're struggling like a lot of other people with membership. That's just not where we are right now. So they're sure worth supporting. They do great work.
Barry, I got to tell you a little secret. The Lions Club in Burke Burnett, they've been doing Taste of Town for several years now. And we support a lot of charitable organizations along the way. We have a project fund that we have a little over $50,000 in. And the Lions Club in Burke Burnett's fixing to do something big in Burke. I'm going to tell you what, those men are dedicated to that. And it's going to be a huge impact. And without citizens like that, this place wouldn't be all that great. But with people that live here, this place is pretty awesome. So just know that that's coming from the Lions Club there at Burke.
We've got the Owl Park FFA Booster Club having their drawdown fundraiser November 11th. It's going to be at the Elks Club this year. We're going to eat some chicken fried steak. Sounds pretty good to me. So if you don't have your tickets, you might want to get one. This year's grand prize is a big, nice John Deere zero turn mower and a trailer and a trimmer and full setup. So it'll be a nice deal. $50 for a raffle, and they're only selling $350. Is that right, Jeff? I think that's what we do. So the odds are much better than the Texas lottery. So, and all the money, of course, goes to support the young people. So, fun night too. It's fun to come hang around.
Okay, Commissioner Watts.
I just wanted to. I brought a letter I wanted y'all to take a look at. Just a big thank you letter for that dove hunt out at goes on in Clay County. A lot of Wichita County people help with it, and it's for veterans of all walks, and it was just a fantastic time. We help with it is how I didn't realize that it was as big as what it was, but one of the things that stood out to me most with it, and I had told Lee this last year, they have the ribeyes in the round and a butcher station cut up, and you walk up there and you have them sliced as thick as you want, and then there's long charcoal trays. They're commercially built, and you carry yours over there and you cook it as you see fit. And to me, that's pretty unique. I've never been to one quite like that, and so Reno helps with this a lot, and there's just Staley's and a lot of good people that are in there and volunteering to make it a deal. But it's at the Birdwell and Clark Ranch, and it's a cool deal and helps a lot of veterans. So
Really good deal.
A lot of people from Shepherd Air Force Base participate in that also. They look forward to it every year.
All right. Next Tuesday, 10 a.m., on the second floor in the courthouse, a number of people will be announcing for election or re-election of current county officials or newcomers, and that's open to the public, and hope there will be a good turnout for that. I'm going to Amarillo in the morning, do one of my final things as president of, or past president of the Texas County Judges Commission Association. Going to present Senator Sellinger with the Legislative Member of the Year Award from our association for his kind of one-man stand against the rest of the Senate and trying to protect local government to maintain control of itself. He absolutely stared down the lieutenant governor and said, no, this is not right. He's a former mayor of Amarillo. He knew what he was talking about. He'd seen it firsthand. And it'd be my pleasure tomorrow to make that presentation to him in the Potter County Commissioner's Court at 1:30. And then I'll be back here. When you talked about the function Saturday night and all, one of the neat things, those young kids in the Rotary Youth Auxiliary, they busted the tables with us, they stayed around, they finished the evening. I never saw them stop, just standing around talking to each other. They were always moving. and doing what they should do and staying engaged in. Yes, sir.
Representative French brought Eli with him, and
Yeah.
his son, and him and Eli were out there just working their little selves to death. And you asked Eli, he said,
He didn't know what
"You know what you were getting
No, he
into?"
didn't.
He said, "No, I didn't." He said, "I surely didn't."
I'm just proud that none of the fill-in servers that were selected didn't crash and burn with some of them trays we had to fling around in there.
Fire Chief John Reese left the kitchen with 2 trays above his head,
He did.
and he didn't spill them. They were loaded.
Of
I
salvage.
just thought it was going to be a train wreck, but he made it through.
That'd sure make you appreciate waiters at big events when you hustle through like we were doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely is an exercise program and make sure you get kept up with everything. But those kids you're talking about, they, all those girls, I didn't see one of them girls at one point have a cell phone in her hand doing
Huh.
texting, doing, you know.
They were working.
For most youth nowadays, you'd have a phone in one hand, they're paying attention to the phone more than anything else. But they all hustled, they did a great job. Holy Bend was great too.
About half of those kids are members of the First Baptist Church, our youth organization, and they work just as hard there as they did Saturday night, and it just, they just got a really good work ethic, good, great kids.
All righty. I then would like to have a motion that we go into closed session to discuss the Wichita County Sheriff and tax assessor,
So moved.
security changes in the courthouse annex. This meeting is closed pursuant to Section 551 of the Texas Government Code. Motion made by Commissioner Mahler. Second by Commissioner Beecham. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. It is 10:48.